Welcome to the Drew Yari Show.
September the 4th, and welcome to another edition of the Drew Yari Show, episode 98. I'm your host, as always, Yari. I'm gonna try and keep tonight's episode a little short, maybe under an hour. I have I don't know if it's a migraine or if it's because I'm tired, because an hour before I got on here, I was watching NXT on the laptop just to prepare for everything, and literally out of nowhere, my head just started aching. So I'm going to try and keep it short, maybe under an hour. I don't really have too much to talk about, but let me make sure I'm recording. Alright, yeah, I don't really have too much to talk about, so we'll just jump right in it. I put a poll on Twitter last week about the PWI 500. Where the 500 list hasn't came out yet. I'm not even sure if the magazine has come out yet. They already put up the 100, the top 100. So I put out a poll on Twitter saying, which top or how many of the guys you want me to go over. Do you want me to put 10, 25, 50, 75, 100, blah blah blah. And top 10 and top 25 got tied at 33%, which is kind of interesting. I might just do that. I might just do a lot of that on the show. I might just put up a poll and see what you guys would want me to discuss or what have you. So I'm going to do the top 25. I just happen to have the 25 on my phone, so bear with me. Okay. Alright, top 25 list. Remind you, I am not too familiar with a lot of the names on this list. I don't watch NJPW as much as I probably should, or Ring of Honor. So there's a lot of names that I may have heard of, but I don't really know that well. So I don't want you to think this is coming off as me just being a WWE fanboy, or I'm just like trashing something I don't know. I honestly don't. Like, I'm just going by names that I know and like names I have seen. So top 25, Tetsuya Naito. I know who that is. I know he was the Intercontinental Champion in NJPW before Jericho took the title from him. Don't know enough about him. I've heard good things about him. I heard he's, charismatic as hell over in NJPW. I can't really say enough about him because I don't really think I've watched him wrestle. I just know about him. I've never actually seen him wrestle. So number 25, 24, Kento fuck, I can't say his name right. Miyahara? I have no idea who that is. Literally have no idea who that is. Jeff Cobb. Name sounds familiar. Again, don't know him. Phoenix. Lucha Brothers, right? Him and Pentagon. Yeah, he's pretty good. I prefer Pentagon personally over Phoenix. Just a personal opinion. Number 21, Ricochet, of course. I don't know. They do these lists like in the summer, right? Or like, I think they do these lists in the summer, or like sometime in the spring. So yeah, number 21 sounds right. Number 20, Jon Moxley. I don't know. Yeah. I mean, he has. So they're going over the whole year. So beginning of the year, WWE, he's the Intercontinental Champion, and he was kind of floundering. So, I guess that makes sense, because that's a name. So he literally just started his post-WWE career in the summer. So, I guess having him 20 makes sense. Yeah, so I'll go with that. Number 19, Finn Balor. Makes sense. 18, Adam Cole. I think he should be a little higher. Because I'm seeing a lot of names that I just think Adam Cole should be a little higher above these guys. But that's just me. Number 17, Kota Ibushi. I like him. I do like Kota Ibushi. I saw him in the Cruiserweight Classic. Very good talent. I'm surprised WWE. Well, actually, I think it's because he didn't want to sign with them. Because he had already signed a deal with NJPW. So, I like him. He's a good talent. I don't think he should be higher than Adam Cole, but it's just me. 16, Jay Lethal. I honestly didn't know Jay Lethal still wrestled. Didn't he have like the longest Ring of Honor championship title run in Ring of Honor history? For him to be higher than Adam Cole or Finn Balor or even Moxley or Ricochet for that matter, no. Cody Rhodes, I'm surprised he's 15. And not because I think he should be higher, but I would just think, they would put him in the top 10 or even top 5. Number 14 is Walter. Oof. That seems alright. Walter, the guy's 6'4", and he looks like he's like 9 feet tall. The guy's a fucking killer. I have not watched the NXT UK show, and I'm kicking myself for not watching it when it came on live. I'm going to watch it. I heard good things about it. It was Walter versus, Tyler Bate? And Tyler Bate's like probably my height or shorter. And him and Walter were able to go out there and have a fucking awesome match, from what I heard. So I need to watch that match. But yeah, I like Walter. I like what I've seen from him. The guy, he's one of the very few big guys lately that actually works like a big guy. Because a lot of the big guys will try and, work kind of like that cruiserweight style. But no, Walter works like a big dude. Number 13, Tommaso Ciampa. I guess that's right. Number 12 is Jay White. Nah. I don't know if he should be higher than Ciampa. I know a lot of people like Jay White. From what I've seen from him, I'm not that impressed. You know what I mean? Again, personal opinion. Don't chop my head off. Yeah, Jay White over Ciampa, Walter, and again, I'm not even a fan of his. Cody Rhodes, Adam Cole, Finn Balor, Jon Moxley, Ricochet. Nah, he should not be over those guys. Samoa Joe, I'm surprised he's even this high. Samoa Joe's kind of had an up and down year, but I don't know if he should be this high. All right, top 10. Will Ospreay. Can't really say too much about it because I've only seen him wrestle in one match in my whole life. Number 9, Hiroshi Tanahashi. Never watched him before. Kenny Omega. Well, I don't really think he's wrestled that much this year. I don't, because I know he wrestled at the Wrestle Kingdom. Because he wrestles at Wrestle Kingdom every year. He was at Double or Nothing, and then he was at 2 more AEW events, including the most recent one. So he's only wrestled 4 times this year. So I guess it makes sense to keep him this low. Roman Reigns, I would think he'd be lower. I guess they're putting him on the top 10, for sympathy votes. I'm not trying to sound mean or anything, but yeah, it sounds like they're keeping him higher for sympathy votes. You know what I mean? Number 6, Johnny Gargano. Okay, he's had a huge year. He's been in a lot of the biggest matches of the year, so we'll go with that. Number 5, Okada. What happened to Okada? Because it seems like anytime I clicked on a wrestling site or looked at a Twitter post about wrestling, I would always see Okada's name, and it just seemed like he went away. Maybe I'm sounding ignorant because I don't watch NJPW, but I'm just going by the eye test, the eyes and ears. I would always hear this guy's name pop up in anything that had to do with wrestling, whether it was his matches that he had with Kenny Omega or anything in NJPW. And I don't know, I haven't heard that much from him. Kofi Kingston had a big year. We'll talk about. We've already talked about Kofi. I love Kofi, but his title reign needs to end. It just needs to end. AJ Styles is number 3. I don't know why he's higher than Kofi. Kofi's a WWE champion, so I don't know why AJ needs to be higher than Kofi. Daniel Bryan's number 2. Makes sense. He's still one of the biggest heels in the company. Probably the best heel that they have in the company. He was the champion in the beginning of the year. Wrestled at Mania. His program that he currently has with Roman is stupid. I don't understand the point of it. It's gone nowhere real fast. Because the whole thing with, it wasn't really Rowan. It was this guy who looks like Rowan. Aha, it was really Rowan. What? Rowan did it? Fuck you, Rowan. And then he smacks him. And then on SmackDown, Rowan, chokeslammed him with his whole hand over his face through a table. So yeah, I like Daniel Bryan, 2. Maybe a bit lower, but 2's fine. And then number 1 is Seth Rollins. Yeah, Seth Rollins is at a big year. We'll give him that. He's had a big year. He won the Royal Rumble. Go with that. Won the WWE title at WrestleMania. Just got engaged to Becky Lynch, which is big. Just won the WWE title back against Brock at SummerSlam, where they main evented. Where that was probably one of the best matches. That was probably one of the best matches Seth has had in his career, and one of the best matches Brock has had in his career, bar none. And it was the first time where Brock didn't have to work 6 minutes. I think it was like 14 minutes. But Seth as a champion has just not been good. Seth as a top guy has not been good. The ratings decline, low attendance at house shows, and just Seth's personal life have not really been doing him any favors. They're the whole thing with him and Will Ospreay, where he's like, hey, look at my check, look how much money I'm making. Calling him little guy. The whole thing with Caitlyn, Caitlyn's ex-husband, where he was sending nudes to Caitlyn while they were still married. Just Seth's personal life hasn't been doing any favors. It obviously hasn't, I guess, deterred the company from making him their top guy. Because if you guys remember, when he was the champion the first time, back when he had the white streak through his hair, the Cruella de Vil hair, there was the whole thing where his then fiance had exposed dick pics that he was sending to the Nazi chick while they were still together, and posted them online while Seth again was still on TV and he was a top guy. And again, the company didn't really seem to care about that one. It's weird how the company will punish you for a lot worse. They'll punish you if you... Actually, I'm wrong about that. This is the kind of shit that you would not be able to get away with back in the day. You know what I mean? It's like you have superstars getting in trouble, and it just seems like they get rewarded for it the very next day. You had a whole thing with Seth, sending dick pics to Caitlyn, and they gave him a championship belt. You had Drew Gulak, putting his dick on social media, which wasn't really that big of a deal. And they gave him the Cruiserweight Championship. You had the Usos, or was it Jimmy or Jay? I think it was Jimmy, getting a DUI not once but twice, and he got rewarded for it. You got Naomi complaining on Twitter, and she gets an entrance at WrestleMania. You got Paige, who, if you go on Pornhub, there's literally a fucking playlist dedicated to her. And she gets a fucking movie about her life. They refuse to fire anyone in this company. And it blows my mind. It blows my mind. And, going back to Seth, I don't know if he should be fired, but I don't know. This kind of shit will not happen on a sports team, because I know a lot of sports teams have a morale clause in their contract, don't be doing stupid shit. Don't be putting your dick on social media. Don't be getting a DUI, or else we're gonna fire you. We're gonna suspend you. We're gonna make sure you never see the light of day. Make sure you never have the kind of popularity that you once had. Just the WWE is just rewarding bad behavior. So, but yes, Seth is number one, and I guess it's by default because looking at the other names, Omega has only really had a handful of matches this year, or not even, maybe a few matches this year. Again, Okada hasn't really been having a good year. You got Roman, who came back, and again, not to be a dick, but they put him in the top 10 for a sympathy vote because he came back and he defied all the odds, and good for Roman. And and like we mentioned before, Roman's actually starting to get he's getting a face pop. He's actually getting a face reaction. The crowd is actually liking the guy, because it seems like they're letting Roman's face turn happen more organically, which is good for them. They're not trying to shove him in everyone's face. So, and then other names. Let me pull all this back up. All right, so yeah, Kofi definitely should have been higher. And granted, I said Kofi's title run wasn't that spectacular or amazing, or it still isn't spectacular or amazing. But he's had a big year. His success happened by accident, because if it wasn't for Randy Orton injuring Mustafa Ali, Kofi wouldn't have been in that gauntlet that was on SmackDown. He wouldn't have been in the Elimination Chamber. Kofi Mania wouldn't have existed. So he should definitely be a little higher. He should definitely, I would say between him and Daniel Bryan, they should switch. Kofi should maybe be number 2, and Daniel Bryan should be number 3. AJ hasn't really been having that great of a year. Ever since he lost the WWE Championship, he hasn't really been doing much. Yeah, they have him with the club, but I definitely think AJ should be lower. I don't even think he should be in the top 10. And I like AJ. This is coming from a guy who likes AJ. But personally, I think he should not even be in the top 10. Personal opinion. And Gargano, he's fine where he's at, number 6. Mojo, I don't even know why he's even top 11. I'm surprised I'm surprised they put Cody at 15, not in top 10. Because, again, everyone loves Cody so much. Jay Lethal above Adam Cole and Finn Balor. No. Adam Cole definitely should be over Jay Lethal. And then you got Velveteen Dream. He should be in the top 25. I'm looking at all these names. Drew McIntyre, Randy Orton, Baron Corbin, Kevin Owens, Dolph. Matt Riddle should be a little higher. He's at 69, which is kind of funny. Zack Ryder's number 100? How the fuck is he 100? I don't even know he should be on this list. if you wish to read the full article, full list in 2019, you can subscribe to EWI's 500 digital magazine or pick up a copy. So if I really want to read this full list, I'm going to actually don't need to buy a physical copy or like buy the one online. Which Andrew Carlick, shout out to Andrew Carlick of False Count Radio. He literally suggested to me just do the full 500. I'm like, dude, I only got 3 hours per show, right? He's like, well, 2-parter. That wouldn't be a bad idea for a show. Do a 2-parter going over literally 500 people on this list. It would literally just be me not recognizing anyone on this list. Again, I don't really watch NJPW or Ring of Honor as I should. It'd be fun to go over all 500 names. Maybe I should do that. Maybe I should go buy a copy and just go through literally 500 people on the list. What do you guys think? So yeah, there's the list. We can talk about Raw for a bit. I was kind of tuning in and out of Raw. It wasn't really that memorable. The only highlights of note are the King of the Ring matches. It was Baron Corbin versus Cedric Alexander, there you go. Which is probably Baron's best match of the Adam Raw. Baron, as of late, I'll give him this, he's gotten a lot better in the ring. It seems like he's cutting out the mistakes that he used to make in the ring. It seems like he's moving a lot faster in the ring. It looks like he has a lot more muscle on him, but at the same time, he looks a lot leaner. He's not wearing the Applebee's waiter vest anymore. Like, he'll actually take off the vest and like wrestle in like a plain black shirt or a t-shirt. So that's good for him. And granted, he has better talent to work in. He has talent that can make him look better. He had a match with Miz last week, which was actually pretty good. And then he had Cedric Alexander, which I love Cedric Alexander. Again, probably the best match that Baron's had on Raw. Maybe even the best match that he's had all year. I don't know. What do you guys think? So he beat Cedric Alexander. And then the next match, which was stupid. Not the match itself, but just the ending. Ricochet versus Samoa Joe. The odds-on favorite was Ricochet, because, again, I like Joe, but let's just be real. Joe is pay me. That's just how it is. So they go out there. They had a decent match. It ends with they're both on the top rope, and they fall off. They fall off the top rope on the canvas at the same time, with their arms on each other at the same time, and the referee counts. And it's announced later on that no one won, but they're not eliminated. So next week on Raw in Madison Square Garden, it's going to be Ricochet, Samoa Joe, and Baron Corbin to determine who will head to... and I'm assuming it's Night of Champions for the final round for the King of the Ring. Which... And I guess... I know, what the fuck, my blanket is still wet. Put it in the dryer 4 times, what the fuck. I guess I can understand why they want to do it, because it's Madison Square Garden. It's the first time Raw's been Madison Square Garden in years. And it's a big match, so they want to pull all the stops, also for their go-home show. But this also screams of, we want to make Baron look really strong. We want to say Baron defied all the odds and beat 2 men in a match, and now he's King Corbin. I don't know. Two of my choices for King of the Ring lost, and we'll get to the SmackDown portion in a bit. But Baron Corbin, it looks like he's gonna win. Just judging by how the bracket is set up, so now, it looks like he's gonna win. I don't know. That's the weird thing about Corbin is they keep giving him so much, and then they take it back. Like, it honestly looked like Baron was going to win the belt from Seth, but they didn't. It's going to be pretty obvious that they're going to put the belt on him soon, whether it's the Universal Championship or WWE Championship. But it's only a matter of time before he gets that belt. They just want to give it to him. I have a feeling they want to wait for the right moment or for the right champion. And personally, and this might be a little left field, but I think he's going to win the belt from Kofi. My opinion. Here's what I think is going to happen. He's going to win King of the Ring. And there might be a stipulation. I don't know if they'll add a stipulation or Baron will just add it himself that, you know, whoever wins King of the Ring will get a title shot against a champion of their choosing. And Baron decides to cash in against Kofi. Because he's already wrestled Seth. We've seen that before. We haven't seen him wrestle Kofi. So I would say on the first night of SmackDown on Fox, he's going to challenge Kofi for the title and win. Or it's going to be at the whatever the next pay-per-view is in Chicago. I mean, not Chicago, October. Which I think is Hell in a Cell, if I'm not mistaken. They're going to have Baron be the champion until Mania. They're going to keep it. They're going to keep the strap on Baron until Mania, and they're probably going to have Roman, take it from them. It seems like the odds-on choice because another thing about Baron that he's improved on is he's really seemed to embrace the heat. He knows he's a heel. He knows people don't like him, so he's going to embrace it. Which, for all counts and purposes, I heard he's actually a really nice guy in person. And he plays such a good heel on TV. He used to get go-away heat from me. Now, it's actually starting to turn to heel heat. The only thing he needs to work on in his promo is, like, when he talks, it's... what's the word? Conviction. He doesn't have enough conviction in his voice when he talks. When he talks, it sounds like a 13-year-old in a middle school play. You know what I mean? He has the smarmy heel, look to him. But he needs to get better at the promos. But at the same time, he's embracing the heat that he's getting. He's not trying to backpedal. He's legit acting like a heel on social media. And it works. Good for him. So, I think he'll win King of the Ring just based on what's going on right now. On how it looks. And how much the company loves him. Which, you never really hear anything about him in the backstage. You never hear about him being a bad guy. You never hear about him harassing anyone. I saw him on the Up, Up, Down, Down on Xavier's show. And he actually came off as a nice guy. He came off as a real likable guy. You don't hear backstage reports that, he's causing a mess or he has massive heel heat. You never really hear that about at all. There's a whole spiel with him and Joe Numbers. But since then, it seems like he's cleaned up his act a little bit. Like he's kind of changed his attitude on certain things. And I think he has a kid. I know he's married, and I think he has a kid. So maybe that's kind of softened him up a little bit. Maybe that's changed his perspective on things. But, so yeah, he's going to win King of the Ring. He's either going to challenge for a title, or they're going to give him the opportunity to go after a title. You know what I mean? Or he'll probably just show up on SmackDown and be like, as King of the Ring, the king must, fulfill his duties, appearing on each show or blah, blah, blah. And then he'll go after Kofi. So it makes sense. It pains me to say this, but he looks like somebody I think Fox would prefer as a champion over Kofi, because there's no chance in hell that I think Fox is going to want Kofi, a guy that looks like... And when I say looks like, I don't mean skin color, okay? I mean just like Kofi... and I talked about this with Tyler, when he was on my show a couple weeks ago, where I said, when you see a guy like Kofi Kingston in the airport, he just looks like a very fit guy. He looks like someone who's very much in shape, but he just looks like a guy. When you see... If you were to see Baron Corbin in the airport, the guy's... I don't know how tall he is. I would imagine he's maybe 6'2", 6'3". You would look at him and go, okay, he's somebody, at least. Like, he's an athlete of some sort. He looks like he plays football, which he did. And Baron Corbin at least looks like somebody. So I would think that they would give it to Baron. They would put the strap on Baron. The WWE title on Baron. I don't know what they're going to do with Seth. The rumor is that The Fiend is going to... They're going to put the title on him. The Fiend... The arena that Hell in a Cell is going to be in had kind of... I guess they spoiled what the main event was going to be for Hell in a Cell, which is going to be, I think, a triple threat Hell in a Cell match with, or just a triple threat match with Braun, Seth, and The Fiend, and The Fiend was going to win the belt, which makes sense. The guy's over as fuck. The Firefly House segments are over as fuck. He had the best entrance. He probably had the best entrance in God knows how long at SummerSlam. People love The Fiend. They're buying his mask. They're buying his shirts. The guy's a hot commodity. To put the title on him already, though, I don't know. That would seem like something that they would maybe do at the end of the year. I don't know. But if you're going to put him in a world title match already, he should win. Don't have him lose. Don't have him be loser Bray. Have him be the strong Fiend. It'd be interesting to see him mix it up with Seth and Braun, though, especially Braun. That'd be an interesting tandem. We've never actually seen Braun versus Bray before. We've seen them together when they were in the White family, but actually in a team, or actually in a match together, it's never happened, and it interests me now. It interests me now that Bray's the Fiend. I'm interested to see where it goes. So, Raw's rating for Labor Day was a 2.51, which is not bad. It was actually 2 points less than the previous week at 2.53. Their first hour, they got a 2.64, which is strong. 9 p.m., 2.56, and then it fell off in 2.33, but it was strong for the main event, which is the next big topic of Raw, which is Bayley kind of maybe turning heel. We're not sure. Basically what happened was the main event was Bayley and Becky Lynch versus Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross. I'm trying to see if I'm recording something. And earlier in the night, they teased that there was going to be quote-unquote friction with Bayley and Sasha. They asked Bayley, what's going on with you and Sasha? And I'm just paraphrasing here. Bayley just said, me and Sasha, we already talked about our problems, but that's private. That's between me and her. Anyways, and she talked about her match, going forward. And they tried to get a response. Sorry, I'm biting my nails. This is bad at it. They tried to get a response out of Sasha, and she told the announcer, "Bitch, get the hell out of my face." Which I don't think she said. I know she said "bitch" because when she said "get the hell out of my face," it looked like she said "bitch" like under her breath. I'm sure of it. I'm almost positive she said "bitch" under her breath. So later in the night, Sasha comes out and starts beating Becky with a steel chair. Bayley comes out, takes the chair from Sasha. It teases that she's going to do something to Sasha, and then she smiles and starts beating the shit out of Becky. A flash forward to SmackDown. Opens with Bayley getting a pretty much a babyface pop, like a massive babyface pop. And I don't know if this is her saying it or if this is the company telling her to say it, but she was like, wow, it's kind of confusing. And she just wanted to say, I did what I did because, Sasha's my best friend. I've always been loyal to her. She's always been good to me. She's always had my back. What would you have had me do? Which was interesting that she said that. Because the easy route they could have gone was she could have came out and be like, I'm just tired of Becky Lynch and I'm tired of all of you, so I'm siding with Sasha because I'm on the dark side and blah, blah, blah. No, it was kind of like not really a babyface or a heel promo. It was more just like a human promo. Like, we've all had that one friend that not a lot of people like. But we're always going to have our friends back, regardless, because they've always been there for us and we're going to be there for them. And, that's, Bayley with Sasha, Everyone loves Bayley. Not a lot of people like Sasha. That's kind of how it is in real life. Like, Sasha is known to be kind of a shitty person, and Bayley, you always hear nothing but nice things about Bayley. So, yeah, she said, what would you have had me do? And I personally think Becky's kind of, self-centered and arrogant, A, B, C, and D. She was going after my friends, so I had my friends back. Naturally, I'm going to side with my friend. So, I compared it to, it was like in Civil War, where, Steve was trying to protect Bucky from everybody. Because everybody wanted to, either arrest Bucky or kill him after what he did earlier in the movie. And regardless if it was Iron Man or Black Panther, whoever, Steve was going to protect his friend. Even at the end, when it was revealed that, Bucky killed Iron Man's parents, and, Steve knew about the whole time, and he didn't care. Well, he cared, but he didn't care that, Tony wanted to kill him. He was protecting Bucky from Tony. And it severed a friendship for about 2 years. This is kind of similar to that. Like, Bayley's the face, obviously. I think she's going to stay face. And then Sasha is the heel. So she's going to have Sasha's back. I think what would make it interesting is if you need to kind of test that friendship between the two. Like, Sasha has to make Bayley do something so heinous that it not only... It's not just, what's the word? Testing her friendship with Sasha, but also testing her humanity. You know what I mean? It's interesting. If that's the case, you gotta kind of maybe change up Bayley's look a little bit, make her a little bit more aggressive. You can make her aggressive in the ring. There's no doubt about it. But I liked her promo on SmackDown. It's probably the best promo I've heard her cut in a while. But I'm liking this tandem. I'm liking this tandem now. Sasha as a heel works. Bayley as kind of like an in-between heel. Or it's not necessarily heel or necessarily face. It's more just Bayley's being a human being. You know what I mean? But, yeah, King of the Ring continues on SmackDown. It was Elias versus Ali, which, interesting match. Not a bad match. Ali's selling the fact that he hurt his knee in the match. Elias beating him, 1, 2, 3. Moves on to the final round. You know what I thought was going to happen in the match was that Ali was going to get a win, and then Shane McMahon was going to come out and be like, nope, you cheated, or restart the match, or Elias's, arms weren't down. Is Shane McMahon only going to come out when it's a Kevin Owens related subject? I don't know. So, next match, which was probably the best match of the night. You had Chad Gable versus Andrade with Zelina, who, just in those white pants, Jesus. Best match of the night. Before the match, Zelina cut a promo on Clark, basically saying he's a little guy, he's short, and that he'll never be Andrade. I don't get this whole thing with Clark Gable. Did I call him Clark Gable? That's the guy. That's the actor from Gone with the Wind. No, Chad Gable. I keep calling him Clark Gable for some reason. Chad Gable, where they keep doing these promos with people making fun of his height, which that is so passe. Because they did that with Daniel Bryan twice. It's annoying. Like, just go with the underdog storyline. That's really all you need to do. The short jokes are just lazy. Because I remember because they did it with Elias. Because I think Clark, I keep fucking calling him Clark. Chad Gable. There's a vignette with him and Elias where I think he bumped into his guitar, and then Elias told him, you need to be this high to ride this ride. And then there was a thing with Shelton Benjamin, where Shelton Benjamin put up a sign in his locker room saying, you need to be this high to ride this ride, yada, yada, yada. Which is it's painfully obvious, and Chad won the match, by the way. It's painfully obvious that it's going to be Chad versus Baron Corbin in the finals, which I'm assuming is going to be at Clash of Champions. It's painfully obvious it's going to happen. I don't know. I'm shocked that Buddy Murphy lost in the first round, which is weird because he looked competitive against Roman 3 weeks ago, and then he just beat Daniel Bryan not too long ago. And then he loses in the first round to Ali for what reason, I don't know why. Which I like Ali, but Buddy has had more momentum lately. I don't know if they just don't like Buddy, or maybe he said something to the wrong person. I don't know, but it should have been Buddy in the finals, personally. So yeah, next week is Chad versus Elias. This is going to go one of two ways. If Ricochet wins on Monday, which all signs are pointing to Elias. If Ricochet wins on Monday, then Elias is going to win. So it's going to be Elias versus Ricochet. If Baron wins on Monday, it's going to be Gable. Or it'd be interesting if it was Elias. I don't know. But it's more likely going to be Gable. They want to push the little underdog that could, the short guy against the tall guy. The toughest guy in the world, former Golden Gloves boxer. They want to push that narrative, which more than likely Baron's going to win. Because I love him. And looking back on it, I know I said I would punch myself in the nuts repeatedly if Baron won. But it looks like he's going to win. And I don't really have a problem with it, in my opinion. I like Chad Gable, but I don't think he should have been in this tournament. He just hasn't really done much in the company. He hasn't done a lot in the company to really preserve him getting this kind of push. And he's not a bad wrestler. He's not. He's a very good wrestler. I think he's kind of like Kurt Angle in a way. They both have that collegiate wrestling background to him. I don't know. I don't think he should have been in this tournament. I think if you're smart, if Creative was smart, which is obviously not, it should have been Buddy Murphy in the finals. You know what I mean? Buddy Murphy has had a lot more momentum. Matter of fact, Aleister fucking Black should have been in the fucking tournament. I don't know why they kept him out of the tournament. I mean, did he just not want to open the fucking door when they knocked? Or what? So, and that's another thing. What are they doing with Aleister Black? The guy is over as fuck. He has probably the best entrance theme in the company. One of the best entrances in the company. Popular. Over as fuck with the crowd. What are they doing with these vignettes where he's saying, I want to fight someone. I want to pick a fight. Somebody knock on my door. Arr. What are they doing? I made the comment of, there's no way they can fuck this guy up. And it kind of looks like they're doing that. There's no name a tough guy who is begging for somebody to fight him. You think Stone Cold would have sat in a locker room by himself saying, I want to pick a fight with someone. What? I want someone to fight me. What? Do you think that would have happened? You think Taker would have done that? You think The Rock would have done that? You think Triple H would have done that? No. Why are they booking Aleister Black like this? I don't understand. But what do I know? So yeah, that was SmackDown. This was just announced today. Reportedly, WWE is bringing back the draft. It's supposed to take place October 11th, which is going to be SmackDown, and October 14th, which is a Raw. Which, I don't know why they're... I guess they want to start first on SmackDown so they can get those ratings in. And it's also because it's Fox. I'm totally for that. I've always been a fan of the draft. I was kind of pissed off that they got rid of the draft. Supposedly the reason why they got rid of it was because Vince McMahon didn't like the name draft because he thought it was outdated, which I don't know if you've ever heard of the NBA draft or the NFL draft, but whatever. So he decided to go with the Shack Up. And then the wild card rule, which lasted, I don't even know if it lasted a month. So now we're getting the draft back, which is good. Again, I've always liked the shows that had the draft. It was interesting. Supposedly, they wouldn't even tell the wrestlers where they were going. They would literally they wouldn't tell them where they were going for the whole day or even the whole week before that. Like literally the day of, they would just say right when they're about to announce who's getting drafted, okay, you're going to the show. Like, I don't know if you guys remember this draft, I think it was 2008, where JR and Michael Cole switched brands. Because, JR was always on Raw, Michael Cole was always on SmackDown. And it was announced that night, I think they did a double trade, that JR was getting traded to SmackDown for Michael Cole. And the looks on their faces were like, they literally had no clue this was going to happen. So I like that element of surprise. Who would be a good fit? Where? This might be a good opportunity to even put Baron Corbin on SmackDown to challenge for the WWE title. You can put Roman back on Raw. Or they might just want to keep him on SmackDown for ratings. You can put, bring NXT guys up. So, I don't know. It could work. It's always been a solid idea. It's always worked. I just said that. The shakeup was always stupid. I never cared for it. Of course, the wild card rule. Nobody gave two fucks about that. WWE really needs to invest in bringing back a lot of the old school shit that we liked. Like, bring back old school pay-per-view names. There's too many gimmick pay-per-views. The gimmick pay-per-views and matches that used to be cool. Like, Hell in a Cell used to be cool. And then they made it into a pay-per-view. So it's just like, well, we already know we're getting a Hell in a Cell match at a pay-per-view called Hell in a Cell. So there you go. Money in the Bank as a pay-per-view, I'm okay with, but at the same time I'm not, because I always thought that was the coolest part of Mania. And then they replaced it with that Battle Royal nobody cares about. Let's see. TLC, same thing. TLC was always a fun match, and then they decided to give it its own pay-per-view. And most of the time, it's just a TLC match and a ladder match. And that's it. Same thing with Extreme Rules. Extreme Rules, there's 2 or 3 matches that are actually extreme. And the rest are just regular matches. They need to do away with the gimmick pay-per-views and bring back, old school pay-per-views. They need to bring back... I think they already... No, they don't. Bring back Backlash. Bring back Armageddon. Bring back Unforgiven. Bring back... I'm trying to think of one. Bring back Vengeance, Bring back the old school shit. Trim it down just a pay-per-view a month. Or even 11 pay-per-views. What is it? After February, let March just be the month of WrestleMania build-up. If you want to have Elimination Chamber in February, that's fine. But in March, just don't do anything in March. Let that be the month of building up to Mania. You know what I mean? Yeah, I'm cool with the draft coming back. Hopefully that's a way to bring back a lot of the shit that we used to like, or the lot of shit that we liked in WWE took away. This just came out today. Scarlett Bordeaux from Impact Wrestling, the Smoke Show. She was reportedly seen at the WWE Performance Center. So she's in line to get a job for WWE, which is good. She's someone that the company can make a big star out of. Because she can work. She's obviously fucking drop dead gorgeous. She can talk. She has all the attributes to be a star. WWE can make her into a star. She's kind of like a take on Trish Stratus in some ways. A lot of people thought that was supposed to be Alexa Bliss, and that fizzled. But the difference between Alexa and Scarlett is that Scarlett can actually work. Like, Scarlett, when she first came in, was just thought of as another pretty face. But then she personally herself, got better in the ring. Her boyfriend, as everyone knows, is Killer Kross. Shout out to Killer Kross. Hopefully he listens. He trained her. I believe he just trained her. Maybe someone else helped. But he trained her, and she's gotten a lot better in the ring. Killer Kross, as we know, as far as I know, he wasn't at the Performance Center, which I kind of hope they do sign him. Again, they're both got Killer Kross and Scarlett Bordeaux. They both look like stars. They both look like people that the WWE can turn into stars. Scarlett Bordeaux can probably keep her name. I mean, I wouldn't see why they wouldn't let her just be Scarlett Bordeaux. Or they'll more than likely just call her Scarlett. Killer Kross would be a problem because they can't call him Killer. I mean, they can probably call him Cross. I mean, Cross sounds like a cool name. Or maybe even keep his name Kevin, because his real name's Kevin. Kevin Kross. Or maybe give him some silly-ass name. But he looks like a star. The dude's, 6'4"? He's in amazing shape. He's a really good wrestler. He's really good in the ring. He's a guy I can see them making into a star. He legit looks like a fucking guy that would beat the shit out of you in a bar. He's what they wish Baron Corbin was. And I know I just spent time kind of putting over Baron Corbin, but if I had to pick between somebody having my back in a fight, I would probably pick Killer Kross. He has the old school look. The old school kind of 80s, 90s look. 80s, 90s wrestler look. But yeah, Bordeaux, I do hope she gets signed. She, again, great talent. WWE can make her into a star. They can make her into the top star of the women's division, in my opinion. Because God knows I need more women. You turn on Raw and SmackDown, you see Becky, you see Bayley, you see Sasha, you see Charlotte. And granted, it's because, they tried to do that with Ember, and that didn't work. Natty's just... Natty's done, in my opinion. Who else? Alexa just has not been good for a very long time. She's never been good. And then you got Nikki, who I like Nikki, but Nikki's not ready. Carmella's just garbage. Naomi's garbage. They haven't even attempted to do anything with Liv Morgan. And I like Liv Morgan. Ruby Riott. Ruby Riott seems like somebody they can make into a star, but I don't know if it's because of how she looks facially, because she's not unattractive. She's very pretty, by the way. She cleans up nice. But compared to the other plastic bitches in the company, she's not attractive. She can work, and she's a very good heel. She can also make a very good face, but she works better as a heel. But for some reason, they just like to have Ruby job to everybody. They had her job to Ronda, which made sense because it's Ronda. They had her in these constant, 6-women tag matches, and they always had the Riot Squad lose. So, and then you have Ronda, which Ronda hasn't been back since Mania. And she'll probably be out even longer. after she almost like cut her fucking finger off on that show. Jeez. But Scarlett, I was calling her Scarlett Johansson. Scarlett Bordeaux, she'd be a good piece of the women's roster. Obviously, they put her on NXT. But she seems like someone Vince would like, for obvious reasons. So, I guess we can talk about Jericho. Jericho, the other night, as you know, he had his belt sold, the AEW Championship belt, and I think I have a screenshot of the police report. Alright, Jericho's title was reportedly stolen in Tallahassee, Florida. The incident is not a work and was reported to Tallahassee police. The police blurb reveals details. The victim reported the theft of his championship wrestling belt while he was eating inside Longhorn Steakhouse. The victim stated he arrived at the Millionaire Club airport terminal and placed the belt inside his rented limousine. The limo driver shuttled the victim to Longhorn while the limo driver returned to the airport. The victim had taken the wrong luggage from the airport, and the driver took it back to the terminal. When the driver picked up the victim from the restaurant, the belt was missing. Responding officers searched the limo and the airport for the belt without success. On-call CID was consulted, and forensics responded to the scene. And it just got reported today that the Tallahassee Police Department announced on Facebook that Chris Jericho's AEW World title has been found. An officer was seen pictured with the belt in a photo, which was then deleted, although the police department notes that the investigation remains open and active. Officer Damon Miller, a spokesman for the Tallahassee PD, was asked about the photo by Tallahassee.com. Still an open and active investigation. The case has not been closed yet, and a screenshot is with him holding the title. That's good for Jericho, because it sounds like somebody more than likely got into the car while the driver wasn't looking and stole the title. Which is a fucking shitty thing to do, by the way. Like, to steal from anyone is a fucking shitty thing, and it makes you a shitty person. You don't even deserve to be in this world if you're going to steal from people. Especially taking something that valuable. You know, of an authentic championship belt that they've made such a big deal about. And I'm glad Jericho got it back, by the way. I'm glad he got it back. It wouldn't have been a good look for AEW if he lost their belt, if his belt was lost. I mean, because AEW's starting to get a little heat, with the whole Cody thing, which I won't really talk about that too much because I didn't get to watch AEW. I didn't get to watch All Out. I didn't have $50 laying around to pay for a pay-per-view event. What I saw was that Cody brought out his dog Pharaoh, which is, I'm assuming it's a husky. And Cody had fucking fireworks in his entrance, and his dog was next to fireworks. What is the one rule about 4th of July? Make sure you leave your dogs inside. You don't want them getting scared of fireworks. Why would Cody have his dog next to fireworks? And what's making it even more insane is that people are going out of the way to defend Cody. And it's not even that I'm not a fan of Cody, it's kind of a human thing. If Cody did a good thing, I would acknowledge he did a good thing. If it was announced, Cody donated part of his check to charity. Okay, good for Cody. Cody helped an old lady across the street. Cody helped a guy out of his car after he got into a car accident. Okay, good for Cody. He's doing something, same thing if it were someone I actually did like. If someone I did like said or did something stupid, I would call him out for it. This is just a human thing. What Cody did was wrong. It was idiotic. To put his dog in harm's way, to freak it out like that, that's irresponsible and inhumane. And then the fact that you got all these these people that just worship the ground Cody walks on, and vehemently defending him, and then acting like, we're wrong because we hate Cody. It's like, no, it's not really a hate thing. It's more just a human thing. It's called logic and common sense. So, I like to think Cody didn't do that out of malice, or maybe he thought that through, or maybe he does legit feel bad about hurting his dog, because I see him on social media taking pictures with his dog. Maybe he didn't think that was a bad idea, which, again, common sense. Dogs are afraid of fireworks. They're afraid of loud noises. So maybe Cody does feel bad. I like to think that maybe he feels bad now, like he acknowledges he made a dumb mistake. I'm not saying have animal services take away his dog. I'm not saying that at all. But I'm just saying what Cody did was stupid and irresponsible. I'm just going to leave it at that. But yeah, with Jericho, again, I'm glad he got his belt back. Him winning the title at All Out, I can understand. From a business perspective, I understand why he won it. Because I said on social media, from what I've seen from Adam Page, I actually like Adam Page. I prefer him over, Kenny Omega. And not because I think Kenny Omega sucks. Kenny Omega is actually very good. He's a very good wrestler. But Adam Page seems like he's someone a lot more likable than Kenny Omega. He seems like he has a lot more of an upside. He's someone that could be a star in the WWE. He's someone that's ready for WWE's television. Here's what, Chris Jericho winning the title can do. Because besides, the AEW diehards and, internet wrestling fans, watching AEW, you're also going to have the casuals. The casuals who have been seeing nothing but ads on TNT or Turner Broadcasting in general saying, and you'll hear like someone like Marv Albert, yeah, on October 2nd, get ready for AEW, yes. that was a bad impression, by the way. So you're going to have people intrigued, like, okay, is there another wrestling company? What is this? So they're going to see the ads and see, oh, is that Chris Jericho from WWE? Is that the guy from The Shield? Is that Stardust? So they're going to watch it, and then they're going to see Jericho as the champion. And I imagine Adam Cole is going to chase after the title. So not Adam Cole, Adam Page. And they're going to get more used to Adam Page. Like, who's this guy? He looks interesting. He has an interesting look to him. So they're going to get more used to him when he's chasing Jericho for the title. That's a way to get over people that the other casual American wrestling fans aren't that familiar with. They're not familiar with Kenny Omega. They're not familiar with the Young Bucks. Not everybody is familiar with the Elite or Dr. Britt Baker. Did I mention she's a doctor, by the way? This gives those guys a chance to be noticed more, to have more eyes and ears on them. So Jericho winning the title makes sense. I'm fine with it. Shoutouts. Wrestling Soup. Miss Joey John. They just had a side saddle, which is pretty cool. And I was on it. Well, technically, I had a voicemail. We talked comics for a bit. Make sure to go to their Patreon for just $5. You can get all types of cool shit. DTKC with Don Tony Kevin Castle every Monday after Raw. Shout out to Don Tony. He just had surgery not too long ago. One of some of my well wishes. I already did before, but I'm just sending him again. Get well done. Get well, DT. Go to their Patreon for just $5. All types of cool shit. Including Kevin has 2 shows, by the way. He has Castle Chronicles, which is a solo show, and then Dark Chronicles with him and another good friend of the show, another good friend of mine, actually, Trez. Architect Podcast with Derek and Irving. Those guys talk a lot of... I try to talk about as much nerdy shit as I can. They talk a lot of nerdy shit. Their show's very good. You should listen to it. Get into corner with Yuck Nasty and Dogger Baby. Probably shouldn't be saying this, but currently Yuck is in the... I had a special assignment for him. He's actually in the studio cooking up a yummy new song for the show. That's all I'm going to say. Which I pretty much just told you everything that was going to happen, so you're going to be getting a new intro for this show. Texas Podcast Massacre. If you love horror movies, these guys discuss everything. Whether it's old school horror movies or current. I was on the show twice. I might be on it for a third time. I'm making sure. You can find them anywhere, pretty much. Julian from the Wrestling Court, Julian and Rob. You can find them anywhere. They're always Thursdays before Wrestling Soup. I was on that show not too long ago where we talked about SummerSlam. Peter Position with Peter. You can find his podcast pretty much anywhere. The Trademark Show with Tyler. Had him on not too long ago. Good friend of the show. You can find him anywhere. You can find him on Spreaker. And then Brian from the B Show. I know he's going to have a horror podcast pretty soon. I think. It's just a rumor. I don't want to spread rumors. Which I think I just did. But and then Ruben Prime TV, his podcast. He actually has his own website. So he has links on where you can find his show. I have him on Spotify. So that's pretty much everything. That's everybody. That's everything I got to talk about. That's pretty much the whole show. I told you I was going to try and maybe just do an hour. I didn't want to talk too much. It's making my head ache. I mean, my head's not hurting as much, but I probably need to drink some water. So yeah, anyways, that is the show. I will see you guys next week. Don't forget, episode 100 is in 2 weeks. September 18th. It's going to be huge. It's going to be big. Next week, same time, same channel, same host, unfortunately. Anyways, guys, take care. Peace.